Hello, Assalamualaikum. So this is chapter 1 and this is video number 2. Okay. So in this video, okay, so we want to see the managerial levels. Okay, so let's see the this chart first. Okay, so in the last video we already covered up until functions of management. Okay, so in this video we're going to continue with the levels of managers, the skills that needed, and also the roles of the manager. So for the levels of manager, you can see here that there are 3 levels of managers. We have top manager, middle manager, and also the lower level manager. Okay. So here is the diagram. Okay, lower level management, middle management, and also top level management. Okay, so who is the top level management? Okay, as we can see that top level management will establish objective, policy and strategy, and also making the long-term decisions. Okay, so basically those people who at the upper level, okay, the top level will be the CEO, president, general manager of the organization, and so on. And their task and responsibility is making the objective, the policy, the strategy, and so on. Okay. The second one is at the middle level is the middle level management. So this type of people, this type of manager, okay, they will interpret the top management directives into operating plans and making implementation decision. Okay, so for example, the marketing manager, human resource manager, finance manager, admin manager, and so on. Okay, so basically, once when the top management making the objective, mission, vision, whatever plan that they want to do, so they will communicate to the middle level management. So the middle level managers, they will interpret, okay, change all the planning into the activities, okay, so that they will be easier to implement in order to achieve the goals. Okay, they will try to interpret, they will think about what are the activities that the employees need to do in order to fulfill whatever that have set by the top managers. And the last one is, of course, the lower level managers, okay, or lower level management. So these managers, they will direct and support, okay, work on non-managerial personnel, okay, make short-term operating decision. For example, supervisor, okay. So the supervisor will get instructions, direction from the middle manager, okay. So the middle, or supervisor ni, this supervisor will instruct all the employees, okay, to do those activities. So the main responsibility of the supervisor is making sure that all employees, okay, will do the activities required that's set by the middle manager. Okay, so the supervisor will make sure that everything is according to plan, all the employees are able to do the task, they know how to do it, and so on. Okay, so let's see the managerial skills. Okay, because we know that all this manager, the top manager, middle, lower, of course, for you to become a manager, you must have the skills. So what are the skills? There are 2 types of skills. We have technical skill, human skill, and also conceptual skill. Okay, so let's see. The first one is technical skill. Okay, technical skill is the ability to utilize the knowledge of tools, techniques, and procedures that are specific to a particular field, meaning that as all the managers, okay, you must have the technical skill. Technical skill means that you must know on how to do it, the tasks or the activities when you want your employees to do it. So of course you yourself must know on how to do it, because when the employee didn't know, then you have to show it to them. Let's say that, but it's according to the specific area, to particular area. So let's say that you are in electrical or electronic, okay, mechanical, okay. So of course you must know on how to do it, so that you'll be able to show it to your employee that this is the correct way to do it. Okay, this is how you do it. so on. So that's what we call as technical skill. Let's say that you want your employee to use this software. So you as the manager, of course, you must know on how to use the software, because when the employee have problem using the software, so you'll be able to rectify, to help them with the software. Okay. The second skill that the manager must have is the human skills. Okay, human skills mean that the ability to work effectively with one's own work group as well as others within the organization. So you must be able, as a manager, of course, you must be able to communicate, to integrate with other employees inside the organization. Okay, that's what we call as the human skill. You must know, you must have the skill to communicate, to listen, to talk, and so on. Okay. And the last one is the conceptual skills. Conceptual skill is the ability to process information about the internal or external environment of the organization and determine its implications. Okay, so meaning that as the manager, you must aware of your surrounding, of your environment. Make it internal environment inside the organization or outside the organization. Is there any opportunity or threat that we have to be aware? What are the strength for our company? What are our weaknesses, so that we have to interpret, to know everything, so that we can make use of our strength or our weaknesses or a threat that we maybe we're gonna encounter, so that we can adjust it accordingly. Okay. So basically there are three skills, okay, that the manager must have: the conceptual skill, the human skill, and also the technical skill. Okay. However, all these skills, again, skills needed at different levels of management, meaning that as a manager, of course, maybe you are lack of technical skill. You have technical skill, but not that much. Okay, so meaning that for different level of manager, they need the skills that they need are quite different. Okay, for example, like let's say that lower level management, you still must have the conceptual skill, human skill, and technical skill, but what you need the most is the technical skill. Okay, because as the lower level manager, you are the, for example, like I said, the supervisor. Okay, so the supervisor, they will still all the employees. Okay, so that's why you need the most is the technical skill, because you have to show to your employees how to do it, how to use the machines, how to use the software, and so on. So the most important skills that you must have is the technical skill. Okay, and then you must have a little bit of human skill and also conceptual skill. While for the middle level managers, okay, the most skills that you must have is the human skill, because you are at the middle. Okay, middle between the lower level manager and the top level manager. So of course you have to connect between the top level and also the lower level. So that's why you must have the human skill. You must know how to communicate, how to make a relationship with all the people inside the organization. Okay, but of course you still need the conceptual skill a little bit and also technical skill a little bit. While for the top level management, the most important skill is the conceptual skill, because you are the one who's going to do all the planning, the objective, what the organization want to fulfill, planning for the organization, whether it's for long-term planning and so on. Okay, so you need a little bit of human skill and technical skill. So different levels of manager, they need different skills. All they still need the same skill, but the skills is depending on their position, whether they need the most technical skill, human skill, or the conceptual skill. Okay, so next we go to the managerial roles. Okay, so you can see here that we have interpersonal role, informational role, and also decisional role. Okay, roles of manager meaning that as a manager, you have different roles that you have to play. Okay, for example, you as a student, you will need to play a role as a student, role as a child for your parents, so as the role as sisters, okay, brothers to your family members, or role as the friends, okay, and so on. Okay, so let's see the interpersonal role. Okay, under interpersonal role, we have three types of role: figurehead, leader, and also liaison. Okay. The first one is interpersonal skills. Okay, the manager's responsibility for managing relationships with organizational members and other constituents. Interpersonal skills mean that your ability to communicate, to have relation with other people, between people, okay, because it is interpersonal, okay. So the first one under interpersonal role is you have to play the role as figurehead. Okay, who is figurehead? Okay, so basically this figurehead will represent the organizations in managerial capacity as head of unit. So you, when you become a leader, okay, or a manager, so you need to play the role as figurehead, mean that you have to go in front because to portray as the figurehead for your unit or for your company or for your department, okay, the leader of the company, okay. The second one is, of course, as the leader. Okay, who is the leader? Okay, leader is a person who is responsible, okay, for hiring, training, and motivating subordinates in the organization. When you become a leader, when you become the manager, you have to play the role as a leader because you have all those people who work under you as your subordinates. Okay, so when you become the leader, okay, the manager, you have to hire people, maybe train people, train your employees, and also you have to give motivation for your employees. Okay, and the next one is liaison. Liaison is a person who performs, okay, and interacts with other people outside the organization, okay, such as suppliers, customers, and also competitors. You will become the liaison, okay, between your company and other people outside of the organization, outside the company. For example, the supplier, the customer, and also the competitors. So you will be representing your organization, okay. So when you presenting your organization on behalf of your organization, you are playing the role as the liaison. Okay, so next we go to the second roles, okay, of the manager is the informational roles. Okay, so we have monitor, disseminator, and also spokesperson. Okay, informational role meaning that the manager's responsibility for gathering and disseminating information to the stakeholders of the organization. Meaning that when you play the informational role, you have to gather, you have to collect the information, you have to disseminate information. So you collect the information and then you give back the information. Disseminate means that you give out the information. Who you need to collect it with? Okay, who that you want to give the information? There will be the stakeholders. Who is the stakeholders? Okay, stakeholders are those people who get affected with the organization actions or decisions or plan. Everyone who get affected with whatever the organization is doing, so that's what we call as stakeholders. Included in the stakeholders is the employee, the supplier, the competitors, the stockholders, and so on. Okay. So under the informational roles, we have monitor. You have to play the role as monitor for your organization. When you work as a leader, okay, you will be the monitor. Okay, seeks and receive information from internal and external environment. Monitor means that you receive, you say, you get all the information. So as the leader, when you play the informational role, you will monitor, you will collect all the information which you think will affect your organization. The second one, you also need to play the role as disseminator. Okay, after filtering the information, managers will transmit information received to the employees. So when you play the role as monitor, you get all the information, you collect all the information, then you have to play the role as the disseminator. Here you have to give out the information to your employees. But which information that you want to give to your employees? So of course, you have to filter the information. Only the reliable information, the useful information, the important information that you need to give to your employees. Okay, that's why we have to filter the information first before we give it out to the employees. And the next one is you have to play the role. You have to play the role as the spokesperson for your organization. Okay, so the managers as spokesperson will transmit information to outsiders. So when you want to give information about your company to the outsiders. Outsiders is people outside the organization, to the society, to the customers. So you will play the role as the spokesperson. Okay, when you give information to your all the people inside the organization, your employees, so you play the role as the disseminator. Okay, so and the last one is decisional roles. Okay, so under decisional roles, we have entrepreneur, resource allocator, disturbance handler. Okay, and the first one is, okay, let's see what it means by decisional roles. Okay, the manager's responsibility for processing information and reaching the information. Okay, reaching the decisions. Okay, so I mean that as a manager, you also need to play decisional role. You have to make decision for your organization. So let's say first you need to play the role as the entrepreneur. Okay, so as a manager, you have to think and act as entrepreneur. I mean that you have to think what are the products to sell, which product that your company or your organization currently have, which one can sell more, or do we need to innovate more? Do we have to come up with a new product and so on? Okay. The second one, you have to play the role as the resource allocator. Okay, the manager is responsible in allocating the resources of the organization. So you have to calculate, you have to plan. Okay, how much resources that you need. Do we need more resources? Okay, for example, let's say that in order, do we have to add on or add in more capital money for us to expand our business, to come up with a new product and so on, or do we need to hire more employees? Okay, so we have to, as the manager, you have to fully plan. Okay, so that it will benefit your organization. And the last one is, sorry, the third one is disturbance handler, responsible for corrective actions when organization faces important or unexpected disturbance. As the manager, you also need to handle all this conflict. For example, conflict inside the organization. So you have to be the one who try to solve it. Okay. Let's say that there are stations that need to be correct, so you have to gather all the information, seek the correct way on how to handle it and so on. Okay, and the last one is negotiator. Okay, you have to play the role as negotiator. You have to negotiate. Okay, be responsible for representing the organization at major negotiations. Okay, so mean that you, as the manager, as the leader, you have to represent your organization to negotiate with other people. Okay, for example, you negotiate with your supplier, or you have to negotiate with the employees unions and so on. These are everything that you need to do. You need to play the role, your role as the manager. Okay, that you need to do. Okay, so that's it for chapter 1. I hope you understand. If you have any question, you can always message me. Thank you so much. So hopefully we'll see you in chapter